And so Dominic, was his way coming all over our king on the earth. In this first one I'm going to start out with, there was teaching a lot of my brothers how to understand themselves today. And we have a sweat lodge over there every Monday night at 6:30 most of the time. It always goes the way it wants to go. Down 15. That's all I could tell you is look for a red ribbon in a tree. That's all I could tell you. I can't give you, I don't know how to send location on my phone, so that's all I can tell you, okay? But it's a great honor for me to be here today. My teacher always told me, he said, you remember what I taught you? He said, you're gonna help a lot of people, and a lot of people helped me. You are helping me here today too. Because remember when I said I walked in that door and I felt all this energy. And that energy is this word, Saga Idwin, the loving way of life. Saga Idwin, Gijachagewat, Gibama Desi, And Daga Bazinda, one thing my grandma and my teachers always told me, Bizanian, Daga Bazinda, listen. You may learn something from that person. And some of our teachers in school were like, shut up and listen. That's exactly what they were telling us, those elders. Daga Bizinda, Bizanago, Bizanianama. Listen there. Because that man is teaching you, or that lady is teaching you about something, about who you are. Because I can ask a question here today. Who all had something to do with their culture and brought them to where they're at right now today? See? That's what I'm telling you. You find that in your community, then you find it within yourself. So this word has been with me for about 2 years. It's called Monday Do in the Way. It's thinking spiritual within ourselves. That's where it starts at. And to understand Nistadota Ejitagean o Autopoagan Gaye Bimadisi. We have the capability to be like this pipe here. We have the capability to nananda way, to heal each other by just being in each other's presence. And recently in the lodge out there, we've been telling each other that it's Gina Tum, it's your turn. And I always tell them, maybe one day I'll be sitting in the west and one of you will be sitting here or in this water. Because that's how it is in our way of life. We learn this, and then next thing you know, we're doing what we learned, or teaching the next person by taking care of ourselves. That's how we started on our path, was we wanted to take care of ourselves. We wanted to take care of us. And then next thing you know, we're taking care of our kids again. Next thing you know, we're taking care of our mom. We're taking care of our dad. We're taking care of our community. Udenang, the community, means the place of the heart stars where they gather. So this is a Udenang Nungam today. This is where we brought our stars to today. Remember that in your heart there's a star. And your little kids will tell you what I'm talking about. They'll know when you get brighter. I work with the daycare. The little kids come running in. Once I walk in, the little kids are running over. Shoo! And I'm thankful for them kids too, because they bring me their energy. So all of us in here are bringing our ayawan nungam here today. We're bringing our good thoughts, our good things we do for our people. And like I said, brings back a lot of memories when I see this tobacco here that they gave me to come over here and do this cultural, this inane this thinking that I'm doing. And my grandma taught me a lot about Nishnabé Moin and taught me how to treat people. You do Nishnabé, treat people well. Don't ever forget who you are, okay? Don't ever forget that you're in the Anishinaabe. Because once you forget you're in the Anishinaabe, then you're running around doing whatever you want. Treating people how you want to treat people. Treating people, and my teacher always say, he said, don't do bad, okay? Give me no chige, give me matis. He said, do good in your life. And I always teach people the language in English too. But then again, I teach people to understand that word in their life. I have had people, laugh at me, but that's them. That's how they feel inside. But I don't feel that way anymore, because I want people to learn who they are rather than people walking around in the world not knowing who they are. And I'm thankful for all these grandpas and all these men that taught me what I know today. And I only know a little bit, okay? I'm not going to know everything. I may send you to my brother, I may send you to my other brother, I may send you to my sister, I may send you to our guest here today that came a long ways. And we're thankful for our guests that are coming to our community to teach us a little bit about Mino Ayawan, about a good life. I remember when I was not living a good life, man, it ate me up. It ate me up how I lived. Because I was the one looking at myself in the mirror every day. I was the one who was painted. I was the one who was taking the consequences for the thoughts that I had and the things that I did. But in this life that I do now too, I still understand I'm just like you. An Indi, an Anishinaabe. So there's a couple here that are acting like some kids. Hopefully they find their self. Hopefully they find who they are. And the best place you find yourself is right here. Right here. Once you start thinking, money do inuenum, this word, money do inuenum, is really up to you. You take that word and you don't worry about what that word means and say, money do inuenum, and think that word every morning and watch what happens, because it starts with you. Everything, Menobimadism, starts with you. One day we looked at ourselves in the mirror and said, man, I don't want to live like this anymore. And that's when we decided to, all right, I'm ready now. I'm ready to listen to that man over there. I'm ready to listen to these kids that, so your kids teach you a lot of the 7 teachings, and they'll teach you your 7 teachings in 1 minute. They'll teach you all those 7 teachings in 1 minute, because they know respect, they know love, they know wisdom, they know all that, and they'll teach you that in 1 second even, because that's all they know right now. And our children are one of the best things that we can go and visit even when they're older. I still go visit my sons and I get a hug from them. And I still go visit my mom, I still go visit my dad, I still go visit my sisters. Because that's where we're connected in our family. And Dunaway Ma Gunny Dug, we're connected to our family. And right here, Dunaway Ma Gunny Dug, all of us here too are relatives. All of us here are family. Because all of us here is Chakewat, Minopimatis, even Kinamago, we all teach a good way of life. No matter which way you do it, you're teaching a good way of life. And like I said, it's a great honor for me to sit up here and talk for you today. So I'm going to pray to, I'm going to talk to Creator. It's something I do every day. I do this every day. I pray for our community, that our community finds the mashkiki, or right here too. You think about Makadei Mashkiki Wabu. Think about one time they said, what is this called? Then they said, all right, we're going to call it the black medicine liquid. And I think about that every time I drink some coffee, and I think about our Gete Nishnabig when we're evolving to the world we live in. Because we evolved a lot to live in this world. And I think about this coffee. And you think about that Makadei Mashkiki Wabu that helps you gushkujan. Wake up. Ingaye ki bimadis, mino bimadis even gishkuzi wad. You know, we all woke up when we decided to live a good life. And don't go and go don't be afraid to talk about your change. Because I know in the community there's a lot of people out there that are still out there that need what we need what we found. If a lot of people understood what we're talking about today, our community would be a whole different thing. Our community would be Udenang. Our community would be Zag Idwin, love and way of life. Sungadewin, courage. Nibwakawin, wisdom. Manaji Idwin, respect. Kwayakwa Diziwin, honesty. The boss saying Diziwin, humility. And Gayete Buewin, Gigagikite Buewin, speak from your heart, speak the truth. Bushke again. Wow, it's up to you. Ana naganas money do dapanwa sema in bakdinana sema in gaye binda kuj gewad in a schnabe geschwenje wenje manaje em nungum migutwe on a schnabe geschwenje pijarma in gaye in schnabe geje nabdabidoma nungum migutwe on naganas money do gikanwen meg in schnabe gumamanan Migutwe gete in a schnabig in the manan schnabig oma. Migutwe of bibunake the mama mananake. In gay mikutwe gisinamagad in gay gunica keoia. Migutwe in gay in a schnabig she gave arzu khan arzu kewad mama manan. Migutwe on a schnabig schwenje. Kan away in the mig on the schnabig is 12 and on. And guy in the schnabig is wenje we do call in the abanudia geje and the canon and the schnabe moin. And guy in the schnabig is wenje money do in the way in the manana manungum. Guy in the schnabig is wenje and go guajamon the schnabe moin be jarma mamanan. So one day my brother asked me a question. He said, well, he works a lot with the language, and he said, what do you think, bro? He said, how are you going to bring it back? I said, start teaching everyone to think that it's coming back. Because the money doing when, and I was just telling my brother, One day I woke up and my fan was getting old. And I said, hey, Creator, I need a fan. 2 weeks later, this lady showed up and wanted me to go wash the door at the sweat over here. And after the sweat was done, she came out with this. So I'm teaching you money do in the way, and once you start living, dizzy when things will start coming to you. But I am this fan's object. I am this fan's legs. I am this fan's thoughts. I am this fan's. I take this fan where it needs to go. I take this topwagon where it needs to go. This is not mine. Maybe one day it'll say it has to go to someone else. I just take care of him, and make sure he goes where he needs to go. And I'm gaya inini. I'm just a man like you, I'm just a shnabe like you. Anan naganas money do in the so and Dominic with de wabanung in the so and Dominic shnabe gishwenji pindaku jagewara a sema. Migu treo sema kikan wen migan shnabe gumamanan. Migu treo and shnabe gishwenji wenji minos jagewa kipimati sian. Ingay in shnabe gishwenji wenji abach tuat ki kendas wanan. Migu treo gate in shnabe gikanamagian in shnabe gishwe wenji abach tuat ki kendas wanan. Migutreo na shnabe gishwenje ji kenda gusiwada mamanan o dapanwan o sema wede wabnung shawanung ningabinung giwetanung ngaye mamananake ngaye gishkung ngaye kinwa kikagi ganang. This one old man, his name was Larry Stilde. He told me, he said, ngaye gin akea. He said, even you are a direction. Because everything in the world is a direction. The boss saying Diziwan, humility. My brother Floyd, one day I asked him, he said, I asked people about the 7 teachings. And Floyd said, to understand that we're all just one little speck of everything here. So you see all those snowflakes out there? Individual maniduga. Individual spirits, just like us in here, individual. And recently they've been really teaching us a lot about ourselves, that the boss saying this is humility, understanding that we're just a man that has this knowledge, or a woman that has this knowledge, or the man who helps chemical health take care of everybody, or all the other groups in here that are, taking care of us. And that's where it starts. Your hearts. You speak from your heart. And mano bina. Leave it at that. One day this old man said, I got to teach you this word. I said, all right, what is it? He said, mano bina. He said, let it be. He said, we go through all this times of banging our head against the wall. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What should I do? What should I do? Then next thing he said, all right. He said, mano bina. He said, let it be. So every morning I get up and I say, mano bina, and I just let it be. And then, the Creator really takes care of you when you mano bina, when you let it be. And I know everybody in here has the capability to mani do in a way in the manan, to think spiritually. Because remember, our kids show us all that we need to know in 1 second. They show us that all in 1 minute. And think about how many minutes in a day where, our kids have to go to school, but our kids come back to us, and think about how many minutes that they're showing that, showing us. Like my oldest granddaughter is not biologically my granddaughter, but when she was 5 years old, she came up to me and said, Grandpa, And after that, I was her grandpa. And I don't tell her that I'm not really her grandpa, because she chose me as grandpa. I did not tell her to call me grandpa. And to this day, I talk with her, I visit her, she visits me. And right about now, I'm teaching her about this man that's coming. You better tell that man to come visit grandpa. She's like, Grandpa, don't say that. I said, well, it's the truth. You tell that man to come visit grandpa, because that man's going to have to know some things about my granddaughter before he becomes her man. And she said, Grandpa, why is it every time you pick me up, you got to talk about this? Because you need to know this, my girl. And, now she gets on a truck and she says, Grandpa, you don't have to talk about that today, okay? I said, all right. Well, that's one thing that we need to start teaching our children again, to understand that the kwetsam to them. Ask about the clan. I know right now, and so on Dominic, Makwatu them. How many bear clan here? How many eagle clan? How many turtle clan? How many bullhead clan? Oh, Buju, Ishime. How many Martin clan? Oh, warriors. Oh, warriors. Okichita. Back in the day, we wouldn't look for the Martin clan. Because you ever study it, like YouTube shows us a lot about things I talk about. And one day they said, go check out a Martin once. And I watched a Martin on YouTube. Man, that Martin is pretty vicious. And I'll give you a story about my uncle. We were trappers one time. One time we were trappers, and my uncle had his club, because we always carried a club that animal if he was still alive. Oh, you better hit him again. No, he's gone, he said. Walking down the trail. Oh, that little thing came alive on my uncle's hand. And he was like, that little thing was all over my uncle's hand like that. And I was like, laughing. And my uncle was like, I said, I told you, make sure, man. We don't know what we're messing with out here, We all heard this before we got here. We heard this in our mother's water. Shishigwan. We're all walking around sounding like this. Recently in the lodge, they said, you have to teach them that they're all walking around like a rattle. That they already have that Nananda way with them. They just have to realize it. And this drum, we heard at one time too. Before we came, that's why our kids come. So how many of your kids came and hugged you and put their ear right here? You had her listening to your heart. And we listen to their heart too. We listen to their little life inside them, their little stars going boom, 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 boom. So I'll sing a song today, and then I'll bizana go. Then I'll shut up. My teacher was a jokester, man. He had no filter in his mouth, He sometimes he'll get up and tell me, go tell that guy to bizana go over there, And I was like, I don't wanna. His name was Tom J. He had no filter in his mouth, But I know laughter is one of the things in life that really helps us understand that minnow yaw and that wellness. And that's what we're coming here to teach people. And it's good to see a lot of my brothers on this agenda today, all my sisters here that are bringing back, their teachings that come with them. Because I don't really know everything. I just know a little bit. And I'll never strive to know everything either. I just know I come from the Bullhead clan, and my job is to gather this knowledge, and my job is to teach this knowledge. My job is to live a good life. I know there's some champion singers in the house too, and maybe I should have asked them to come and sing. I seen them sitting up there. But a song, we all come with the song. Our heart is all going boom, 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 boom. So I was thinking about my song today. All right, so this one song, his name was Ron Mandam, and he shared this song with me. And it was the one I was talking about. I'll do my best with it. It talks about money do in the way 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 and now beyond. Money do in the way when do beyond. I was going around looking for that Yahweh all over. When I found it within, I just had to listen. Money do in the way 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 and now beyond money do in the way when do beyond money do in the way 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 and no beyond money do in the way when do beyond money do in the way 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 and now beyond money do in the way when do beyond money do in the way 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 and now beyond money do in the way when do beyond money do in the way 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 and now beyond money do in the way when do beyond money do in the way. So remember that song talks about I was going around looking for this spiritual thought. When I went around and looked, and it brought me back to within myself. And his name was Ron Mandam, and they have a day lodge up there. And he sent us with these grandmas in Bemidji, and he said, if you can learn this song, take this song and use it in your life. And I want you to understand this feeling, this Yahweh, when I walked in this door, I could feel this feeling. And that feeling was Zagi Idwin, the loving way of life. That's what I felt. And we all arrived here to share that with one another. We all arrived here as helpers. Ashkabewas, we all arrived here to help in some way. And when you do ceremony, your ceremony is when you get up in the morning and your bagajage, yasema, you offer your tobacco, or if you don't have tobacco, offer your thoughts. Because your thoughts are very powerful. Your thoughts will teach you after a while that everything in those thoughts can change. That when you do ayawin, or mino ayawin, is what we're doing here today. And that it starts within. That's where it starts at. One day you looked in the mirror and said, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to do differently. Next thing you know, you prayed. Next thing you know, a teacher showed up. Next thing you know, more teachers showed up. Next thing you know, you learned that your kids were teaching you this all this time. How to smile, how to love, how to be happy. You know, that there is balance in our life, but we don't need to be crabby all the time. You know, I tell my sister, man, you're crabby. She's like, why are you always telling me that? Because every time I visit you, you're like, so I taught her that word. Then she said, hey, that word? Smiling. Say, look at you. Look at how you look. And she's like, shut up, huh? Still wanted to be a little bit crabby, huh? But she understood that word in her life, man. And it's like the things I see in our community, the little group that does what we do. And I watch that group become more and more every time we come in here. And I watch these names up here change. And I told my brothers I'm proud of them, that they're going to be sitting up here doing. And I look at this agenda, and I see different brothers and different sisters doing different things here. And it's a good thing that we adapted to life. We adapted to society, where we took our teachings and we use it in our life, and we also use the English society to live, to be okay, to be Minoya, Niminoya na. Anin Eje Yayan. How are you all? Niminoya na. I am well. You know, I was like, should I talk fast today, or should I talk slow? So I talked slow. I took a little bit of your time, and I'm thankful to be taking a little bit of your time, and thankful to teach you these teachings that old man taught me, or that old lady taught me. And she always told, this other old lady, she always said, you have to say this one, okay? Now, gone is it? Ganawena Mishanan, we do call Shanan, Shoangish, Joanna Mishanan, and Schnabig. And she was one of the most respected ladies that I knew in my life. And she was asking the Creator to take care of us, and all those words that she taught me. And Gi Nishnabe Moda starts within yourself. Don't be afraid to speak what you know. My teacher, old man, he said, do your best. He said, because there's 4 little kids watching you. And I didn't really understand that till my son told me, he said, remember that when that old man taught you about Zagi Idwin? He said, I thought about that word ever since that day. And this was like in early 90s. Miigwits n'indigenous kaso mimisi ngay gije money do in do dem was a see. And then another one they recently told me. So everyone's saying Nindun Jaba. Nindun Jaba, Gijagung. Huh? That's where we come from. And Anishinaabe means we were lowered down here. Hey, Bugani Gijik, another one, Bugani Gijik. I taught my brother one day, close your eyes once, see what you see. And then he said, I just see a bunch of red. Close your eyes again, see what you see. Close his eyes again, he said. I seen all that connection. Everybody has Buganagijic right here. Everybody. Everybody's walking around with a ray of light coming right here. And Buganagijic, and my brother from Cass Lake, he's a Golden Gloves boxer, and he's like, well, what does Buganagijic mean to you, bro? And he's like, that's my chief. He's one of the most feared chiefs around. So then I taught him what I taught you today about Buganagijic. Because when we all go in that sweat, we all go in the cedar ceremony, we all bring our Buganagijic there. Like today, we're all bringing our Buganagijic Oma. We're all bringing our Minnow Yawin, our Chichag, our spirit, our Kikage, that star in your chest. Feed that star with Kikendaswanan, Nishnabe Ijitwawin. Feed that star with your knowledge of your life, of your way of life. Amin Miigwech. Thank you all for listening. My English name is Kelly Iceman Sr. I come from Panema, and I live in Bemidji, and I work in all over. I work all over. I am very honored to come and sit here and talk to you today. Very honored to be the cultural person again. And tomorrow I'll probably ask one of you brothers to sing, so be here, be on time. Miigwech.